Okay, well, we'll continue this morning. Happy Easter to everybody. God bless you all. Anyway, we've got the fore end completely dry. So shouldn't be any problem milling this off, making it flat. I'll probably just mill it till it cleans up and leave it whatever thickness it ends up. Might not go by my guidelines. Simply because I can get a little bit more thickness in here, meaning I can detail the transition from the original stock to this material a little bit better if I have a little more material here to transition to. Of course, we zero the angle gauge here to here to here to here. Shows us we're zero. I know that this bottom is parallel to the top rail, which is parallel to the inletting, so on and so forth. So we should end up with a face here that is flat and parallel with the center line of the barrel. And then there'll be another setup immediately following this to do some other detail work on it. But this is where we are right now. I had to move the vise over so I could get enough travel. It's the only limitation of this mill for this kind of work is how much distance I have, how much travel in the x-axis I have. I usually have a secondary cross slide up here to get more. But in this particular case, I'm dealing with specific parts of the unit. Don't really need to go that far with it. It's easier to work this way right now anyway. So we got this tightened down. Didn't really true it up. Kind of eyeballed it in because that's all I really need. I'm working on the flat. I'm not really worried about being parallel this way. I'm just making sure that we're flat here and here. I don't know if you can see it up underneath here, but there's no gap here, nor is there any gap here, which means I'm laying good and flat. Of course, I make sure of that anyway. So we're ready to go ahead and start milling this. I'll let this down a little ways. Roll this in. Now, I'm still kind of a newbie with this GoPro camera, so bear with me while I get things set up here for a second. Oh, by the way, you'll notice inside here, got another little piece that I made a while back. Basically supports the sides of the stock, so when I put compression on them, I don't have to worry about breaking the stock. Then I use these soft pads, which are almost like a conveyor belt, and put them in between the stock and the vice jaws. And it does a real good job of keeping me from marring the finish or anything like that. So it protects the stock real well when I'm working on this kind of stuff. Anyway, let me make sure this is tight. Cap on. And we'll go ahead and run this over here. I want to start down by the end here, but before I get there, what I'll do is I'll just touch off here real briefly. Just to see where we're at. Sorry about that. It's going to be close enough for what we're doing. More often than not, I'll support that end of the stock, but there's really no need to in this case. Not a heck of a lot to be gained from it. I just want to get an idea where we're at here. We're about 46 thousandths lower here than, as you can see from the zero is up off of it, okay, which was what the other end showed. So as I bring this down, just round it off about 45 low here. So what I can do, that tells me, is I'll touch off here and make that my zero cut, and then I'll just cut this all the way out, and we should clean up all the way out and have the maximum amount of material. So we'll get this set up and going. Bear with me here just for a second. Hopefully I'm not going to mess this up. This out here. Yeah. Okay. This light up here. Actually, you know what? I'm swinging the other light. That way it won't be. I noticed it in my other videos. It was kind of shining in everybody's eyes. So. Up. And I'm just going to run this down. Till it just touches. Right. Back it off a little bit. See, I'm hitting here. There's a little rise there. I don't want to do it there. So we'll bring it back here a little bit. I'm going to run it down till it cleans up across the entire cut. See what I'm talking about? You see that crescent? You see this crescent right here that's cutting? As soon as that's all the way across and cleans up, then I know when I make my cut this way, I'm going to clean up all the way. Okay, so you watch down here. The crescent comes across. And we're all the way across in the back. And we're taking wrap it out just a little bit here. And we should be good to go. And I'll go ahead and finish these cuts and then start this back up again.